What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and some crazy news, some more crazy news going on. Let's see, Papa John's controversial CEO steps down after facing backlash of his criticism of NFL anthem protests. Wow! Now, I first saw this on my Instagram feed like hours ago, like earlier today, and when I first saw it, I didn't even believe it. To be honest with you, when I first saw the post on my feed, I didn't even believe it. I was like, okay, it's a hoax, I'm thinking like it's a hoax. It's just somebody's trolling. This ain't real. So I just kept on scrolling. I kept on scrolling. I saw it again on someone else's page, but I still didn't take it serious. I didn't even bother to look to see, but I've seen it more and more and more. I said, okay, let me check this out, see what's really going on. Let me see what this is legit. And apparently it's legit. I'm looking on the Business Insider website, and it says it right here. Papa John's controversial CEO steps down after facing backlash for his criticism of NFL anthem protests. I remember him saying something about this during the whole protest. I remember him saying something about this. And you saying something that it was because of the protest that his stocks were going down or something like that, right? If I'm mistaken. So let me see. Um, well, so some call. There were a couple of bullet points here. The founder. Yeah, it says it's three bullet points I see here. It says the founder of Papa John's, John Snyder. Sorry, I think it's Snyder. On Thursday, announced plans to step down as CEO. Last month, Snyder sparked controversy by slamming NFL leadership for its handling of players' protests during the national anthem. I remember him saying something about that. The founder has previously spoken out against Obamacare and donated $1,000 to Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Okay, and here's a little story on it. The controversial founder and CEO of Papa John's, John Snyder, is stepping down. The company announced Thursday. The company said its current president, Steve Ritchie, will replace him. Okay. Snyder sparked controversy in November when he slammed the NFL leadership over players kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial injustice and police brutality. Right? Quote from him: "Leadership starts at the top, and this is an example of poor leadership," Snyder said in a call with investors. The CEO's statement quickly sparked backlash on the left and support on the right. The Daily Stormer, while white supremacist website, the Daily Stormer, a white supremacist website, even posted an article asking whether Papa John's was an official pizza of the alt-right. The chain responded that it did not want the hate group buying its pizza. Okay. Snyder owns roughly 25% of Papa John's and will stay on as chairman after stepping down as CEO. Interesting. CEO in January. A press release from the company said he would pursue his personal passion of entrepreneurship, leadership, and development and education. This is not the first time Snyder has stepped down as CEO. He did so in 2005 after a period of declining sales, then returned 3 years later. Very interesting. Snyder has a history of making political statements that spark controversy. He came under fire in 2012 for saying the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, the health care law, better known as Obamacare, would be a lose-lose for Papa John franchises and employees. Snyder argued that it would cost Papa John's $5 million to $8 million annually and ultimately drive up prices for its pizza. The backlash was swift, with many promising boycott we ain't promising to boycott Papa John's. The company's shares slumped 4.2% at the time, Forbes reported. Schneider has also spoken out extensively against what he says is overregulation. In 2017, in his 2017 book, Papa, The Story of Papa John's, Schneider argued that the regulation were steering the U.S. away from system of free enterprise he believes crucial to a nation's success. So he's pretty much a capitalist to the bone. Okay. Quote from the book: America in 2016 is on the path to becoming what Germany was in 1867, Schneider wrote. Schneider's great-grandfather immigrated to the U.S. from Germany in 1867 as a young craftsman seeking work. The U.S. was a land opportunity where people were free to become successful without fear of attack or he needs to seriously read up on history, U.S. history, to make that statement. Okay, anyway. You got a free market donated to, okay. Okay, so basically, this is the same old with him. From what I'm understanding, this is the same old stuff from him. He's done things similar to this before. I did not know that. I guess you really don't know person. I really didn't pay much attention. And this isn't the first time he stepped down as CEO. That's very interesting. I didn't know you could step down as CEO and then come back as CEO. I didn't know you could do that. He owns 25%. He owns a quarter of the company. Okay, so I'm assuming that the other shareholders, saw that his comments put a dip in sales, which I can understand because the NFL and Papa John's they have a partnership with each other. That I already know because every time you see NFL game, you see Papa John's game with him and Peyton Manning. And I wonder why I haven't seen It's very interesting. But this isn't the first time this happened though. So, but he's still going to be on the board because really anybody who really understands business, the CEO is really just the face, like John Schneider is. He's the face of Papa John's. You think of Papa John's, you think about him, his face, right? He's the face. It's the CEO. But the real power is in the hands of the shareholders. The shareholders are the ones who fund the company. And because they fund the company, they get a share. They get a piece. They get a share of the company, right? That's what shares mean, right? You literally share parts of your business with those who help fund it. The ones who help fund it are called shareholders. It can be anywhere from a majority owner to someone who has 0.007% of it. Like if you buy one piece of stock in a company, you are a shareholder. You are a very small shareholder or a very small owner in the company, but you are a owner nonetheless. So I'm guessing the big shareholders saw this or saw these coming. I remember him saying something about this. He's saying that because of these protests started by Colin Kaepernick and stuff, they're kneeling for the national anthem. Because of these protests, a lot of people who would normally watch NFL games or go to NFL games either stopped going to the games or they stopped watching the games. And because people stopped watching the games on TV, they didn't see the commercial because the more commercial plays, the more revenue is generated. Just like if you on YouTube, how you see YouTubers, including myself, how they will monetize a video and you see commercials come on, those ad commercials. Those commercials are what gives the company or the individual their salary, all right, their money. So if no one is watching the product, aka the football game, then no one sees the commercials. If no one sees the commercials, then they're not prone to buy the products being sold on TV, the Papa John's, the beer, the Subway, or the new phone, or whatever's out, whatever commercial's on. So apparently, his comments were a result of the NFL protest. And because of his comments, that also made more people say, okay, well, not only am I not going to watch NFL football because of the protest, but because of his comments, I'm not going to buy Papa John's. And that put a dip in there. But apparently, this isn't the first time that this has happened. Like I said, he made comments about in 2012 he made comments about the Affordable Care Act, or aka Obamacare. He made comments about that, and in 2012 that was the beginning of his second term. Yeah, his second term. And I guess those comments made people not want to buy Papa John's, and it dropped 4.2%. Now, people may say 4.2% is a small number, but 4.2% from $1 billion company is a lot of money. Okay, 4.2% may be small. Like if you were to take $1 and you take 4.2%, that's four pennies. Almost 4.5 cents on $1. Multiply that by billions, and then that 4.2% grows exponentially. That's a lot of money being lost from his comments. And apparently that caused him to step down as CEO before. Then he came back, and he's back on with the face on TV, better pieces, Papa John's, blah 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 blah. But apparently this with the climate that it is now, with the way things are now in this particular climate, with Trump being president, and major bosses and CEOs leaving their companies, like the owner for the Carolina Panthers, because of his actions. Even though John Snyder's actions aren't sexually based, they're more politically based. Those political statements in this day and age were enough for. I'm speculating right now. I'm going to say that the other shareholders pulled him into office and said, "Look here, because of your comments for this protest, it's put a dip in our pockets. Now, what we suggest is, you get off the TV because you're talking too much. Like your face being on TV and your comments being broadcasted and written out. People starting to look at the whole company like this. You're talking too much, and people know who you are. People can put a face with the words now. You need to sit down for a minute." That's basically what that is. You talking too much. You talking reckless right now. You need to go sit down somewhere and chill out for a little bit, like you did last time. Because last time you spoke, got crazy out the mouth. You had to sit down for a little bit. You sat down for a little bit. You came back, okay, and you still did it again. Like I said, this isn't the first time Snyder has done something like this. He made a comment. He had to go sit down. Well, he got to go sit down again. Now, my question is, okay, he has to sit down, and the new person, I forgot what his name. What is his name? What is the other guy's name? I just read it. Steve Ritchie. Steve Ritchie is the current president. The CEO's like the president. The CEO's like the president of a company, but the shareholders are like the bankers. The people who fund the company are really the ones in power. Kind of like the golden rule. Those who have the gold make the rules. Same thing. He who pays says. If you pay, you get to say. That's how they go. You pay, you say. So my question is, now that Steve Ritchie is president and he's going to replace him as CEO, will Steve Ritchie be taken over as the commercial face of Papa John's? Because this already put a hit in Papa John's pockets. But will people be even more turned off by a new face on their TV screen when they see a Papa John's commercial? Like, will Steve Ritchie also be saying the slogan for Papa John's? Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Will Steve Ritchie be saying that? Or what about Peyton Manning? Will Peyton Manning still be doing business with Papa John's? Will we see only Peyton Manning on the screen? That's just a thought. Will we, like, what's going to happen after that? Man, I tell you, these times are different. See, there was a time where people who had these controversial statements, these controversial beliefs and philosophies, they could make these statements and nothing would happen because they, not on social media, or they want people around. But nowadays, in this day and age, you can't step out of line. You can't come out your face wrong. You can't do it. Like, you can't come out your face wrong. You really gotta watch what you say about people and situations. You really gotta be careful because one misstep. Like, it goes back to what people say. If you can't say something nice, don't say that at all. That whole thing about if you, my mother say all the time, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Well, that statement is truer now than it ever was before, because now if you can't say something nice, it can cost you millions. Saying something out your face wrong can cost you millions, even billions. Interesting times. So we're gonna see if there's gonna be more. Like, is this the end of it? Because he stepped down, and like I said, he donated $1,000 to Trump presidential campaign. Although he did say Schneider donated $1,000 to Donald Trump's presidential campaign, though he did not publicly voice support for him. Well, you didn't have to. You giving him money is a form of support. Just because you don't say out your mouth, I support him. If you give your resources, i.e. your money, to someone, that means in some form or fashion you support that person or that person's cause. And what's more damning is if you give him, like, if you're saying something out your mouth, you just speak verbally and there'll be no paper trail. But if you donate money, there's a paper trail for your money. They say it in the police, follow the money. And what that's essentially saying is, if you financially support Donald Trump for his presidential campaign, and we all know how Donald Trump feels about certain subjects, he's very, very controversial. And for Donald Trump to win and still keep hold of those same borderline racist, borderline misogynistic, very, very controversial, ignorant statements, if you donate your money to him and what he stands for as a president and what he's trying to implement, that in a way means you also believe the same thing that Donald Trump does. Why else would you support someone that you don't believe in them? If you don't believe in a person, why would you support them? Because we all heard what Donald Trump said. We all heard his rhetoric, his speech, what he believes, what he stands for. If you voted or if you financially supported someone who thinks that way, one could surmise that you feel the same way. Whether or not you say you support him or not, whether or not you say it, if you give him support in any other form or fashion, it's the same as saying that I support him. So even if I don't say I support him, if I give him money to fund his campaign, I essentially support him. I just don't say it verbally. I say it monetarily. I don't say it verbally. So if someone deems Donald Trump as a racist, a misogynist, just ignorant, then somebody could say to you, well, do you feel that same way? Because you supported a man who thinks like this. So how do you feel about this, John Schneider? Donald Trump was the one that said, wouldn't it be great if the owners of the team would fire these sons of bitches? Or these son of a bitches, or these sons of bitches, and get them out of here. Donald Trump said that about the NFL players. He said that about the NFL players. Okay? Even though it's illegal for a president to involve him or herself in private company affairs. The NFL is a privately owned entity. If you're trying to enforce your will on a private company as a president, that's illegal. You can go to jail for that as a president. You can serve 15 years in jail for that. So when he made that comment about the CEO, the owners of the teams firing those sons of bitches, do you agree with that, John Schneider? Because you and Papa John's and NFL have a business together, have a partnership together. Do you agree with Donald Trump? Even though you have a former NFL player as a spokesperson for Papa John's, do you feel that way, John Schneider? Like this right here about the Obamacare and about the NFL protest. That's what we've known. That's what he's been on record saying. He's been on record saying this apparently. So if he's been on record saying this, who knows what else and how deep it goes, what he's said behind closed doors. So this may not be the end of it. This is the second time he's had to step down as CEO. And I don't think this is going to be the end. We're going to hear a whole lot more about this. So we'll see how that goes. There's a lot. There are billions of dollars tied into this. There are millions and billions of dollars tied into this whole thing. Very interesting to see what happens next. All right. So hope y'all enjoyed that. Put a comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Catch you all later. Peace.